South Jersey bad boys. You're getting better.
South Jersey. That has like a nice like dual kind of like, it sounds like it's the beginning to a really like heartfelt country song.
Yeah.
You can take that down to Cowtown Rodeo, get a couple of banjos going in the background.
Yeah.
One of those instruments someone plays on like a washboard type of thing.
The spoons.
The spoons. Yeah, we'll really get going to sound like
I feel like I could definitely be a fucking great spoons player.
Spoons player, yeah, that would be good. I got the like, what do they call this?
I eat enough with spoons that I think that I just naturally would pick it up. Pretty
and I usually heat up spoons a lot, so for a little different of a intake, but
at first I was like, wait, what the fuck are you talking about?
Just heating up a spoon to just chuck at someone out the window of a car.
This guy's quick, ladies and gentlemen. Pay attention. This guy is sharp.
So here we are, South Jerseying it up with some yings, and don't have any wings, but we get a good yinger. I mean, where could you go wrong with a nice ice cold yinger?
Had some wings yesterday.
Where'd you get the wings from?
Where did I get them from?
Is it a South Jersey staple kind of place, or
it is a South Jersey place. It's a staple place for me and Sam getting pizza. Stella's.
Stella's.
You ever been there?
No, I have not.
They're grandma's pie. It's in, I guess technically Collingswood.
Oh, you know what?
Haddon Ave.
Maybe Rachel was talking about this. Their pizza, the grandma's
pie. Yeah, phenomenal.
I've heard of like a place that has that, so that must be it.
Mm-hmm.
That must be it.
Talk about a place that sounds like it's run by a grandma. Stella's,
yeah.
But it's great, dude. Their pizza's so good, and I crushed about 10 wings yesterday.
Oh fuck, that's the way to go.
It's a good Sunday in my mind.
Yeah. That's the way to kick off a weekend. You're doing a lot of home shit. I got some home shit. How about this article about living in New Jersey?
Yeah.
New Jersey residents, 64% say the state is either an excellent or good place to live, according to a Monmouth University poll, which they release every single year. But 59% of residents say they want to move out at some point, which is the highest ever on record in this poll.
Now, if you had to guess, like, let's do Family Feud style, the number, let's say the top 3 reasons people are want out of New Jersey, let's say at the same time and see if we get it. All right, number one.
Number one would be.
All right, hold on.
Oh, you go.
Are you counting down 3, 2, 1?
I was going to count down.
Is it 3, 2, 1, go, or just 3, 2, 1?
We'll just go 3, 2, 1, go, and then we'll say it. All right.
Okay.
So it's a 3. This is your number one choice of why.
And we're going after go.
Right after go,
okay.
You just say it. It's 2 words of what I'm going to say.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Go.
The
property
whites.
tax.
I was going to say taxes, but then you said the 2 words.
Oh, well, 2 words. Property taxes.
I was going to just say taxes.
Property taxes, the whites, they go hand in hand. Oh, we're going to have to cut that out.
Cut that. We'll chop that. Just a comedian just taking risks.
So when you're watching this and there's a brief 1.5 second cut in the tape, bit of a boo boo, but
bit of a boo boo. I thought you were just about to re-describe what just happened. I'm like, we're gonna have to cut that too.
Yeah, we went in a different direction for sure. But yeah.
A different direction in your mind.
Property taxes. I think you get to see a breakdown because now you bought a home. I've had one for a couple years now. Most of it goes to schools. And
do you actually see because I haven't had, we just bought the house, so I haven't seen.
I think in our borough they published something that shows it. And I think it showed that like 63 or 65% of our property taxes went to the school district.
Interesting.
Which I know some people that went to college to be teachers, and let's just say they weren't exactly the sharpest tools in the shed.
Yeah.
There were a few cards short of a full deck.
I mean, they're stupid.
Not even just stupid; they're just wild people.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
It's going to pay their salaries. I am only assuming this is coming from somebody who was not taught anything about property taxes in high school, which is probably another issue.
I had heard before, and I don't know if this is true, that New Jersey maybe has the highest property taxes in the world.
Really? I would, as a state overall, probably.
Like I had heard the state, but then somebody had told me once, and again, someone once told me, it's not a reliable source, but I'm pretty sure somebody told me, in the world, New Jersey's is the most, or is it up there with the highest property taxes?
To be. I mean,
why though? But like, I understand, schools and where they're saying it goes to and stuff, but why in comparison to the other states?
I think what they were saying in here is that a lot of people like everything it has to offer. And if you think about it, anywhere in New Jersey, you're awfully close to a major metro area, being either Philly or New York.
Yeah.
You also have the shore. You also have mountains. You also have a decent climate. Like, it's not like compared to New England where it could snow 2 feet every other
Right,
week.
right.
But
That's true.
it's also not like you get really good seasons. You can get a lot of snow. You can get really hot summers.
Yeah.
You got a lot of nice parks, outdoors. You got a lot of everything. I
Yeah.
get that. There's also some very terrible areas of the state to be in.
Yeah.
It's also very expensive.
But it's also funny, like one of the biggest perks that you mentioned is, we're so close to the metropolitan cities or the shore and stuff like that. So it's like, why don't those desirable place, like we're desirable because we're close to the desirable place. So why aren't there? Well, I'm sure that they're all very high too. Their property taxes, like in the cities, and also the shore towns.
Yeah, that's why you look at anything with New York, California, New Jersey falls right in there as well. I think those are the three as far as any like tax or high cost of living. That's the other thing in here is the high cost of living is number 2, one of the second top reasons why people said they're eventually going to leave at some point.
Yeah, I guess people like being along the coast.
Yeah, I mean it's a good spot. Like, we're here where we're right next to Philly, but you can get to the beach in an hour.
Yeah.
And you're right next. You can get to the Poconos and the mountains in an hour.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Pine Barren. I don't know. You got South Jersey. I feel like has a little bit more to offer than North Jersey, if we're being honest. Parts of very northwest Jersey get very rural, very mountainous, and everything like that.
Yeah, I don't even really know northwestern New Jersey very well. It's weird that that's even a place.
I was up there one time for a show, and it's basically rich New Yorkers that want to get a house somewhere, and they didn't buy in like the Catskills or Poughkeepsie or something like that.
Not too far away from their place.
Yeah,
in Jersey,
instead of going north from New York City, they just went west, and they went right into North Jersey, and it gets kind of
interesting.
Poconos go up into that way, up where New Jersey meets PA and New York, like they come to right up there. There's a lot of desirable areas to live, but it's swanky as fuck.
I love some swank. Hillary Swank.
Some Hillary Swank,
both
yeah.
Big fans of her.
Oh, Hillary Swank. You mentioned her in one of those fake ads that we've done.
Yeah, and I don't know why. Like, Hillary Swank, I feel like she always gets a bad rap, and I have no idea why. Like, she's a beautiful actress.
I don't know either.
I don't know many of her movies, but seems to be a good actress, but she always gets shit on.
She always gets thrown. It's always her and Sarah Jessica Parker and like all these they always get constantly. And you mentioned her in the one thing, and somebody commented on the video saying that it was awfully misogynistic to mention the. It's like misogynist. I don't know. You could throw anybody in there. It was just really random.
Yeah, I guess it is, but yeah, I was just joking. Like, I don't even feel that way.
Yeah, I mean, there's always those certain types of people in the celebrity world that you get into that with.
Hillary Swank, more like Hillary Spank.
Somebody would find an issue with that for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of living in New Jersey, I mean, you can look at different property taxes, everything like that. I couldn't tell you where ours go to a lot, but apparently it's going to this. We got new trash and recycling teams in our borough here. We get this notice in an email today that says, at this moment, there's been a report of a few houses who are including human waste in their trash items. Human waste is not an item which can be included in the trash stream.
And I thought I ate like shit.
Yeah, Jesus.
There we go. Here all night, you guys.
This is the reason there are toilets and sewerage treatment facilities governed by NJDEP. If the team finds any human waste, it'll be tagged with the reason and not collected.
Ew, people are just dumping in trash cans.
I mean, I kind of wanted to respond to the email and just be like, so.
Could I get more details?
Like, can you specify what you mean by human waste? Because
it can't be diapers.
It can't be diapers. Diapers have to be thrown out. You can't like just put those into the toilet. I mean, they say this is why you have toilets. So I'm like, okay, so someone's either putting loose toilet paper that's been used in their trash can.
Yeah, ew.
But like, there's a whole bunch of shit. Like, if I wanted to get rid of some really sketchy items, you can hide it in your trash, and they won't be able to trace it back to me. I don't think.
Well, that they must be doing it so much that this is a problem. Because I gotta imagine if this happens once, I don't know. They maybe aren't going to file a whole complaint about it, but I bet you the trash guys keep going back to the same place, and they're like, "These people are shitting in the trash can again." I am going to the borough. This is fucking disgusting.
And then I
don't get paid enough for this shit.
Yeah, I don't get paid enough for this shit. Picking up this stuff. Yeah, and they just
ew.
That's crazy. So it's just, but could you imagine being a trash collector and you're going around and you're like, "This is disgusting. I'm filing a complaint."
It's like, yeah, and in what scenario? like whoever the people are, the family, the this person,
Yeah.
why are they doing this? What scenario, like, is your toilet not working and you're like, well, I don't have anybody else to ask that I can go over to their house and just do my business, so I have no problem just shitting in a barrel.
That or is it people put in the dog bags that they shit when they're on a walk and they drop them in people's trash cans, but they're in a bag. It's not loose,
Yeah,
and that's not human waste. You see somebody looking at it, it's like that's
they
not human shit.
specifically said human
It
waste,
specifically said human waste and update
right?
in an email. So this is where tax dollars go into work. Somebody had to write this in an email and send it to all residents of the town. It's like you got like in college, you ever get those weird emails from like RAs of your dorm building that say, "Hey, somebody shit in the lockers. Can you can
Right.
you stop doing that?"
They're
Like,
like, hey, just new rule, just throwing this out there, no particular reason, no drawing penises all over the walls.
yeah.
Just another new rule that we decided to implement. Hope you have a great
Yeah, great.
rest of your day.
Great rest of your Thursday. One time we got hammered one night, and there was a academic building. They always left the academic building is unlocked on my college campus, and there was a wheelchair in one of them that was left at the staircase, so that if
Oh,
anybody like
that's a good time.
yeah, so we
Find
were
a rogue
wasted.
wheelchair,
We
dude.
found a rogue wheelchair as drunk 20-year-olds
Oh
on
my
college
god,
campus.
we had one. And not to cut you off, we found one too in college, and we kept it in our apartment for 2 years, and we played in it. It was awesome.
Yeah, we had this thing. We were ripping it fucking everywhere. And then someone saw it was missing from there and it was found in our dorm. So the RA in our entire dorm, where there was probably 50 or 60 students living in there, had to send an email to everybody saying, we found a wheelchair that was taken from this academic building. And
Now
whoever
it sounds
took
like
it.
you stole it from a grandpa.
Yeah, no, it was just sitting there. It was owned by the college and they just wanted to know who took it and why. So they were coming
I
after us
love how
hard.
they're investigating. Like, I just don't understand. None of you guys need a wheelchair. Why would you take this? And it's just too difficult to explain to these
It-
people. Because it's super fun to
Yeah.
fucking pop wheelies in a wheelchair, dude. What do you not get about this?
If I were to
That
be
can't be it.
if I were to be brought in front of like a town hall scenario and I had to explain why I took this type
Yeah.
of thing, it's like
Your
let me
Honor, it's super sick to pop wheelies in wheelchairs. Have you ever tried it? I rest my case.
yeah. Have you ever been a few four locos deep and just wanted to pop a wheelie in a
Yeah.
wheelchair?
You
Yeah.
ever been hammered walking home from the bar and you see a guy in a wheelchair and you look at him and you're like, man, that chair looks like a lot of fun. Can I try it? And the guy's like, no, I can't walk. And you're like, get out of there.
Yeah. Have you ever been so fucked up that you can't walk and you need a wheelchair and it's the one way you can get away with not getting a DUI that night? So you get pulled over by public safety on campus and you just flipping the bird saying, you can't get me this time, you pigs. And then next thing you know, you're in front of a hearing with all the deans being kicked off of campus. And
Yeah.
it's just, it's, you had to explain why. And then, you were doing, four loco bongs at a frat party.
Have you ever gotten so drunk that you are so desperate to get into a wheelchair that you because you have so much fun in them that you fake your way into a wheelchair basketball league and you play a full season, and whenever you go, you don't do so great, so you get pissed off, so you one time accidentally slip up and you get out of your chair and swat somebody because you jumped. That's the worst.
Yeah, I hate when that happens. That's a bitch. And then you get kicked out of the Special Olympics for it, and it's a whole ordeal.
Yeah, man, I wanted to see how long we could go with that, but that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was. I mean, there's a million different.
We
ways
just
you
lost
can
every
go.
listener that we
Yeah, yeah. It's just like, all
could
right,
possibly have.
I was in it for the first 12 minutes of this podcast. Once you guys started saying that you were going to identify as somebody who needed a wheelchair to then bounce out of it during a Special
Yeah.
Olympics basketball game,
Yeah.
against the crosstown rivals.
I'm just diabetic, so I'm trying to mentally prepare myself for the fact that I most likely will lose both feet and need to be in a wheelchair.
Yeah, so then you could definitely use that rogue wheelchair. Would you go just legless, or would you want to get a really 3D printed fake robotic leg?
I would definitely want the robot legs, dude. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Because long pants, you don't even look different. And maybe I could add a couple of inches, and then next thing you know, I'm 6 foot. I got more confidence, and then the next thing from there is I'm CEO of the business, probably.
Yeah, yeah, but then you get to wear some of those business slacks and they ride up a little bit and somebody's just like, "Wait a second."
Yeah, and they're like, "What? What is that?" I'm like, "I'm a fucking robot. Don't fuck with me."
Yeah, yeah, and it turns into a whole iRobot kind of situation, which I completely forget that Will Smith
You for-
movie.
you
I was confusing it in
completely
my
forget
head
the
with
plot.
I Am Legend, I Am Legend,
Yeah,
I Robot.
I
Like,
always do mix those up.
and it's like they're completely separate plot lines, I think. But I was confusing
Yeah,
them.
one is
So
zombies and one is robots,
yeah,
and both good,
yeah.
honestly. But the robots definitely get the robot legs. Honestly, I might even get them if I don't lose my legs because they look pretty fucking dope, dude.
Yeah, yeah, they do. And you can turn into what was that guy that South African Olympian with the
Yeah, the
the
hook
legs, the
things.
hooks that he was like on trial for murdering his wife or something.
Oh, I don't
What
know.
was that guy's name? I forget it.
I
I'll have
don't know
to. I'm
about
gonna.
that.
Yeah, he was on trial in South Africa for shooting his wife. Something like she like startled him in his house and he shot her. I don't know what happened
He
with it,
fucking
but
kicked her in the face with
yeah,
his robot.
yeah, that's fucking. They would
Took
like
her head off.
he was like bouncy on them, like yeah.
Yikes.
Damn,
That's fucked up.
I forget that guy's name, but he was the shit.
I remember there was a kid in the Olympics, not maybe a couple of years ago, and I remember because he was in the NBA All Star, like Celebrity All Star game,
Mhm.
and he had two like cool looking hooks. They weren't like your standard, just like Lieutenant Dan robot legs. They had like a hook and some bounce to them, probably the same thing that you're talking about. And he was an amazing athlete,
Yeah.
super fast, because his legs don't cramp up, and he was pretty good at basketball.
Shit. The things you can do when you set your mind to it, right? Is that what all the motivational posters said?
Yeah, and I think that's what it's in reference to.
Huh.
Yeah.
It was funny when I was working in a middle school. When I was in college in the summertime, we got to paint all the classrooms. We were paid really well to do it. And at some point, there were like these motivational posters that were on the walls for like years and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And then once the people, like they would obviously put celebrities and people that kids could like identify with up on there.
Yeah, it'd be like
It's-
Albert Einstein.
Yeah,
Or,
those are like, some of them and some of the schools I went to, there was all different types of people up in there. It could be, LeBron James or Donovan McNabb
Yeah.
or Bill Cosby. Like, could you just imagine
well,
some of
taking
the,
that one
yeah,
down
it's like,
now.
oh, we got to take that one down.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby is going to take that down.
If you look into most of the, like I remember our school, they had like a poster of like Gandhi and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you look into all the lives of all these famous people, you're gonna find some dirt that
You're
can
gonna
find
find-
reasons to take them off the wall.
I will not stop my pursuit of looking for dirty things that Gandhi has done over the years of the evil that man has committed.
He was a bad boy, apparently.
Behind the scenes, yeah, between him, Steve Jobs, Harvey Weinstein, I put all of them in the same bucket.
Yeah.
Which leads me to the next point. Why hasn't the show Kids Say the Darndest Things been revamped yet? Cosby's out of jail. He can host it again, and we'll just throw him in there. I don't last night.
I don't see any reason why you can't just hop right back into the spotlight.
It's just like, hey, the Kids Say the Darndest Things. They got America's Funniest Home Videos still on ABC on Sunday night at
With
7 o'clock.
Carlton
Yeah.
took that over.
It was just like America's Funniest Home Video. It's just called the internet, and most of the videos are just like taken
Yeah.
from tweets. It's
I guess that's kind of the concept now of Tosh.0. Like when you think about it,
Yeah.
it's really just the millennial America's Funniest Home Videos.
yeah,
Like Bill Cosby used to do that, but it was like
Yeah.
VHS tapes of people's family videos and stuff. And
Yeah.
now it's just like anybody can upload anything to the internet. Tosh just makes fun of them.
yeah. And I mean, with on the Kids Say the Darndest Things now, it's kind of like Steve Harvey on Family Feud, where they ask a very generic question and then they just wait for one of these idiots to say something somewhat dirty, and then Steve Harvey just does the stare at them. When on Kids Say the
Yeah.
Darndest Things, it's like you ask an open-ended question to a kid, and then the kid says something weird, and then Bill Cosby just sits there like this, staring, just
Right.
like that was the entirety of, for the most part, the
Yeah.
show.
I mean, kids.
Oh, boy.
Sounds so weird to lead a sentence like that, but kids are the funniest people.
Yeah.
Like they'll say they will say the darndest things.
Because they haven't reached that point where somebody has told them to
No
apply a
filter.
filter
Yeah,
to their head and how things come out.
unfiltered, raw. It's the funniest. That
Yeah.
like they mastered like what Patrice O'Neill was going for, just
Yeah.
completely unfiltered and raw.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have that as a kid, and then you slowly filter yourself.
Yeah, you slowly realize the things I'm saying I really shouldn't be.
Wow,
but-
that's interesting. That is kind of true.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if anybody wants to use the hashtag of Get Cosby Back on Kids Say the Darndest Things, just include us in it.
Who would be a good host to take that over?
Of Kids Say the Darndest Things?
Yeah, because you got to have somebody that is clean, but not too clean, because then they look suspicious.
You know who I don't think has been given a fair shake with those things, and might have been well on Family Feud as well, but he kind of has built his own brand that wouldn't connect with most of America. But I'm going to say Jeff Foxworthy. If he gets on there, I mean, he's a clean guy. He's an all-American guy. He's got the mustache,
He
got a
was
little
doing
bit of
Are You
twang.
Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
That's probably why it came into my head, because
Yeah.
he dealt with kids on that show. And if
That's
he went on there,
similar, yeah.
he could ask a kid and just, so you say that is probably a terrible Jeff Foxworthy, but like he can have like this the country twang in there and ask these kids.
They say a wrong answer and he's like, "You might be a redneck."
Yeah,
He's like, "I'm just joking around."
yeah. Or
you might be a redneck.
see, now if you set
That's terrible.
Jeff Foxworthy setting him up to ask kids like from like the fucking hood, he gets to ask them some questions.
Yeah, and then just if he says anything wrong, they beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, they just stomp him right out there on
Yeah.
the stage.
I mean, I would definitely tune in to that, and like cable needs to find a way to make a comeback.
Yeah.
Streaming is. Jesus,
Hopefully
take
somebody
over.
just kicks the shit out of him for that last Netflix special he put out. I don't want to
I
shit
didn't
on.
see it.
Oh my god, dude! I mean,
I really respect him as a comic.
I
But,
do, and a lot
I
of it
didn't
was
see that special.
a lot of it was good, but it just came out. You probably didn't hear much about it because it's Jeff Foxworthy. Like he's not active on a lot of social media, anything like that. But he did post it, or Netflix posted something about it, and he got torched in the comments from people.
Really?
Most of it is basically like a. When I was growing up, we were kicked outside of our house until the streetlights came on. Kids these days, it's just a lot of that.
Right.
It's not the way it was, and I think that's what it was called, was the way it was, or something like that.
So it's very like
It's very boomer
family, like sitcom-y,
very
like
boomer
hack,
humor.
I guess some people would say, of premises where it's like, yeah, we've kind of like we've
Very much
heard this take often.
Yeah, very much boomer humor. Absolutely.
Boomer humor.
My
My parents love boomer humor.
I started sharing boomer humor comics in my fucking Instagram stories and stuff, and I started typing it out like boomers will, like the LOL in all caps with a lot of emojis. And all the people that respond and say that what I posted was hilarious is usually like aunts, uncles, and parents of friends.
That's
and
such
things
a
like
funny trap if you like find something that's specifically boomer humor, put it out there, and just see how many of our parents' friends comment on it, and you're like,
Yeah.
this is exactly the audience that they're targeting.
Yeah, I
That's
love
so
putting
funny.
that stuff out. Here we go. Yeah, Khloe Kardashian says that she's afraid to post on Instagram because of Photoshop accusations. So people are accusing her of every time she posts something on Instagram of photoshopping something. And my rebuttal to saying if you're afraid to post on Instagram because of Photoshop accusations, you have one of two options you can take. You can either hire the best Photoshopper in the world to where no one can point out what the fuck was edited and what was not, because I've seen some photos that people call out, and you clearly see where whatever photo editing app she was using, it's like, you're a billionaire. Why are you editing your stuff on your own phone? Pay somebody, a professional, to do it on a, $3,000 computer.
Yeah.
That, you can go that route, or you can just post stuff that isn't photoshopped. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and it's just such a stupid complaint too. Like you clearly have some sort of filter. Like don't act like even if it's not you're not like, I feel like she's trying to get it on a technicality. Like, I don't use Photoshop. It's like, yeah, but the shoots that you have are like completely professionally done and maybe have a filter on it or like whatever. And like these young girls are seeing that and being like, that's not and like, I don't know. It seems like that seems to be where a lot of the complaints come from, where girls will, I will hear this sometimes where they complain like, you're trying to make it seem like that's naturally always how you look, and it's just creating this false perception,
this unattainable
exactly.
look, which is true. I mean, most of what they have is, I mean, I'm not going to, everyone can shit on the Kardashians, but I mean, let's be honest. I think they have a lot of probably surgeries that have been done that the average person or girl who kind of wants to change something isn't going to do.
Well, and they've came out and like admitted to lying about like multiple, saying like, oh, I never got my lips done or my whatever like, I think certain ones they've tried to prove, like, didn't Kim Kardashian like have it on this show? I heard somebody talk about this, I didn't see it, that one of the episodes on the show was her like proving that her ass is real and not fake. And it's like the fact that you're even willing to go to these lengths to prove that.
That's wild.
I mean, like, dude, you guys have been getting shit on for so long. Like, why do you even give a shit if people are talking
Yeah.
about?
You had a reality show for over a decade
That's kind
on
of what you
a
guys do. Is you stir things up to get people to talk shit on you, and you're
yeah.
always in the
That's what reality
spotlight.
TV is that you got to manufacture controversy to
Yeah,
get people interested. And you also have cameras following you around for your entire life.
right.
And if you know the stuff isn't true, maybe it's just me. If I know something isn't true, I'm just like, yeah, I'm not going to spend any ounce on that. But if they're getting like bothered by people calling it out, I get that it could be like from a look perspective of like how it could be degrading to say this or that. But like if it's not true, I mean, she's going to the lengths of doing like live videos to where she shows off everything, and
And you're
she's
like,
like,
who cares? Like, you're a billionaire. Who cares?
"Yeah, I wouldn't give a fuck what I looked like if I had that type of money."
Like, I'm not saying it's right to bully people and say things like that, but it's like you guys are in the business of being in the public eye
Yeah,
and like being like fashion people, whatever the fuck that they do,
yeah,
and you guys have all had work done.
yeah,
So I think it's like just being more honest about, um, like even if you're not using Photoshop, every photo that you have is completely professionally done.
yeah,
So girls will see that and like, oh my god, I look like shit. It's like no, they had like makeup artists do this, before they took that picture of them drinking a Starbucks coffee this morning. It's not reality.
yeah. It really isn't.
I mean, I don't know.
If you want to see any type of reality, just take a look at us on these videos here. No makeup, no filters.
And we get accused of that all the time. Everybody keeps commenting in. Some of the first comments that we ever got was the South Jersey Bad Boys are clearly photoshopped. Nobody looks this fucking good.
Yeah, and we get that all the time.
And
So
we don't say anything.
no, we don't say we don't get an article written about us in Yahoo Life, and
No.
we don't go on Instagram and barely anything.
No,
I mean,
I've always been this hot.
yeah, I have always been openly dressing.
I've
like
always been openly hot.
Yeah,
I don't try to hide it, and I don't use Photoshop. It's just a God-given thing.
It's just one of those things you can't help
and that's
it.
why we paired up. We're like, dude, you're hot, I'm hot. Let's start a podcast. That's
Yeah.
how the
That's how
business works.
this is how things naturally progress. And I don't know what to tell you if that's upsetting to you, if that's something that you don't
But to
agree
accuse us
with.
of Photoshop,
Yeah,
it's like this. We work so hard
on our image.
to be this hot.
I wear cream at night on my face,
Yeah,
and it's
and
not
you use
easy.
lotion.
Yeah, I've joined multiple multi-level marketing schemes just to get all these different lotions on my face.
I became a brand ambassador of 50 products that I've never received any return on investment on.
No, I have stolen tens of thousands of dollars from my family and closest friends, all in the pursuit of being Monat's top seller this quarter.
Yeah,
And I'm not even cracking the top 50.
yeah. I created my own pyramid scheme and
Yeah.
tried to spin it off as one of those businesses, and got all of my closest family and friends and old college
Yeah.
buddies involved.
I did the same thing, and I created what I called a pyramid scheme, but I would basically bake my own knockoff Girl Scout cookies, and I would sell them to the general public outside of Acme and ShopRite here in South Jersey. And the courts say that it was called fraudulent and things like that, but I want to say it was a pyramid scheme gone wrong. I
Yeah.
tried getting all these little girls involved to go sell them for me door to door, and their parents were asking questions, and then
I
said,
used to work at Rite Aid, and I would bench press the shopping carts on my breaks at work so that I could look this fucking good. And I would steal all the lotion so I got it for free so that my skin was always moisturized. And that's why you and I, because I share it with my podcast partner,
Yeah.
look so young. And
Yeah.
that's why at the end of every podcast we lotion each other up.
Yeah. And, that's things we do on camera, off camera. If a reality show wants to hit us up, South Jersey Magazine, if you're looking to do a piece on us, very well reach
Just
out.
you and I putting sunscreen on each other, like on the cover, just like out of shape with
Yeah.
shirts off,
This
shirtless.
is, you want to look good, this is how you do it. I think this is a sketch idea. And if you guys have any thoughts on this, please let us know, because
Yeah.
we're open to sharing our secrets. But ultimately, you've heard the phrase black don't crack. We're spitting images of it.
Yeah. White is not right. Our Irish skin is not right in the sun.
No, it's night white. I have dyslexia. I think there's something wrong with me.
Yeah.
But here's a fun story outside the area as well, which we were talking about property taxes in New Jersey. This very well may hit close to home there. All right, so this is a story about a homeless man that built a mansion near a freeway. Check this mansion out. I mean, this is just incredible.
He said he started this project with the front garden area, then he used his landscaping expertise to eventually expand upward, as you can see here, adding items like small cars, then using toys to create sculptures. Then as it grew, people started to notice, and they started contributing to its expansion. Now it features a graded rock garden. There's a children's slide up at top. There's a white picket
three-bedroom,
fence,
one bath?
It says that he has a children's toy slide at the top. He uses other toys as decorations. He has a graded rock garden on the bottom. I do this around here, and my HOA calls me white trash, but they do this in Los Angeles, and it's a mansion that attracts social media people.
And people are all defending him, right?
They are, and he's been there, and he's still there. This was from 2021. He's still there, apparently. And local legend has it, this mansion on the side of a freeway in Los Angeles was recently listed on Zillow for $7.2 million.
Yeah, dude.
This is what 7.2
I
mil.
couldn't afford that place.
No, look at it. You got a graded rock garden. His expertise in landscaping is what helped him create this masterful mansion, which, I mean, that's better than anything I've been doing in my yard, for sure.
It doesn't look that great, believe it or not.
Yeah, I mean, just it's kind of on a hill. I mean, imagine walking up to that hill after a long day of work.
It looks like a couple of kids made a fort and they left it over the weekend.
Yeah, he's got like a donkey silhouette down there to the left.
Like, he could just fall down that hill though. I guess he needs the high ground though. In case
he needs to get into the high ground because of the
him.
flooding from underneath of the freeway.
Yeah, if there's an earthquake, buddy. Also, yeah, that's got to be some good sleep that he's getting at night, right on the side of that highway,
right on an LA freeway there. Yeah,
oh my god.
They said he hasn't been kicked out of there. He said he'd be open to offers for housing, which I'm kind of just like, yeah, you know, if anybody wants to give me like a house or something, I'll take it. But until then, I'm staying in this, which I give it to him for that.
Yeah, he's obviously pretty handy. Like,
yeah. But I mean, yeah, you could have no indoor plumbing, no electric, no anything. But I can guarantee you that would go for a nice pretty penny here in New Jersey.
Location.
Put that sucker right down there in Wildwood, underneath the boardwalk. I say we try and create our own mini mansion on public land and see how far we can get with it. Because if they're doing this out in LA, we need an East Coast version of this.
Yeah. Well, they do along the Art Museum in Philly now. I don't know if you've seen those mansions.
Oh, there's a few mansions around.
They're really stacking up there.
Damn, we gotta get some people in it. It's a whole real estate sector of the market that has yet to be capitalized on.
Yeah,
we could be mansion real estate agents within a very tight knit community.
Yeah, that's where we find our niche group.
So what if we just start
selling houses on the side of the freeway?
We don't sell for money either. We're just bartering items.
Yeah.
So like we'll take like whatever somebody has to get them into a pre-made mansion out of boogie boards and white picket fences. That's what's at the top there. He's got white picket fence that was like in someone's trash. Which I mean, it built something way better than anything I'd be able to build.
Yeah, to be honest, that is definitely I would not have the ability to build that.
No, I wouldn't.
That is actually pretty impressive. If there's an earthquake though, this guy's sliding right down that hill.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the least of his worries when you're living on that side of the freeway. I guess that probably feels like an earthquake every single night.
Yeah. Well, maybe if something does happen, he can capitalize on it and turn that place into a bar and sell mudslides.
Imagine do you ever get a flat tire and you got to pull over on the side of the highway and you feel the cars whizzing by you? Woo! Yeah. Ooh, and you're like, oh my God, this is so loud. Imagine sleeping tightly next to that every single night and like,
oh man, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah. I'm going to sleep in tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep. I think this guy's probably sleeping in most mornings, but I don't know. He said he was a landscaper. He's probably up at the crack of dawn just sitting out there enjoying a morning coffee while watching the cars whiz by or sit in traffic.
Yeah. That's my retirement plan.
I would love for this guy to just be sitting there homeless in a hand-built mansion on the side of a freeway and see all these losers in their cars in traffic going to work, and he just cheers them. And he's like,
he's like, you idiots paying
have fun,
those high
idiots.
Interest rates.
I'm paying no property tax living in this hand-built mansion on the side of a hill on a freeway. You guys are such suckers.
Yeah.
And I respect the shit out of him for that because I wish I could live that lifestyle.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the guy's an entrepreneur, and you got to respect that.
Respect the hustle. I mean, that definitely looks like it took a lot of energy to build. Look at the water cooler on the bottom there. I mean, those things are
That's where
heavy.
He keeps the brews for the boys.
Yeah, when the boys come over.
Yeah,
Oh,
watch the game.
yeah.
He's probably got electric in there.
Yeah, no, he's definitely wiring something in there. Just picks up on Wi-Fi from a neighboring business or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, this would be great if you're able to move in there. Like, oh, I
I
would
love
love
how
it.
this is news too. That they're like,
Yeah, is there nothing else going on in Los Angeles?
there's
Are
so
there
much going on.
Are there no influencers that are accusing of photoshopping photos on Instagram that you can
Yeah.
cover in the news these days?
This guy is an influencer. He's influenced me.
He's influenced me to live that lifestyle because I can guarantee you this: if we moved into a place like that, girlfriends and wives would never be having any girls' nights over at that place.
No,
No parking.
that is good. It's something to think about. You know, once we get the Patreon cooking and we start to get that Patreon money, maybe we invest in something like this.
Yeah. I mean, it's all going to go to a good place, and that place is going to be a mansion under the Wildwood Boardwalk.
Yeah.
And then we're going to start selling it to people on someone else's land, and we're going to tell them, "Why don't you come fucking take it from us, you bozos?" Because you know it's serious when you call someone a bozo.
Oh yeah.
You can't react to someone calling you a bozo in any positive way.
Yeah,
like,
you either got to giggle that off, or you just, or you.
reevaluate your life.
Yeah, there's not many things. It's the perfect comeback.
Yeah.
Only in New Jersey.
That should be in like we should do New Jersey based sketches and just do an only in New
Only
Jersey.
in New Jersey.
See, now if I saw that this was being done in New Jersey, I would think like this is an only in New Jersey thing.
Oh,
but
this is California, right?
that's in LA.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, they are like
yeah, very artsy, very
whatever you want
creative.
to do.
Yeah, go ahead and do it.
Fine with us.
That's
Oh, you have firearms in there?
well, we're gonna take those, but if you want to stay there, feel free.
As long as you have housing.
Yep, and no property taxes taken whatsoever. So what can you do? Just beautiful
Jesus
South Jersey.
Lord.
But yeah, I think that's
That guy's probably an accountant in California. And like that's just how high the cost of living is there.
when I
It's like this is all I can afford.
this is just a regular guy that has a job and a college degree.
Yeah.
Between the student loan debt and the lack of good paying jobs,
This is where we're all headed as millennials our age.
that's what I think. This is just a very good metaphor for like homeless man builds a mansion near a freeway. He's also a college graduate, has a PhD and a 6-figure job.
right.
But it just so happens he lives in Los Angeles, so this is the best he can do. So
Yeah.
this is probably why people are leaving New Jersey.
Yeah. It should say California millennial went to college and fucked up.
Yeah, he got persuaded by the system to get into college, which I do agree with people
Goddamn system.
on that with the college because you're 18 years old and they're like, yeah, if you don't go to college, you're going to be
You're
some
not gonna
loser.
get a job.
You're going to be flipping burgers somewhere. So
Yeah.
sign this piece of
Yes.
paper for these government loans that the government takes 5% interest at a minimum on,
Yeah.
and then go to school for 4 years and pay 52 grand to live in a concrete block of walls on a mattress that was made for inmates.
yeah.
And
And if you were an 18-year-old trying to get a mortgage and they're like, all right, what's your plan? You're like, I don't really have one. They're like, all right, well, are you going to have a job in 4 years? You're like, maybe. I don't know.
yeah,
They're like, you got it. Here's your house.
yeah, just big stamp of approval
Yeah.
on it. Good enough for us.
Is 12% interest okay? All right.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Let's do this.
Run them up. Yep. Jesus, what a time to be alive.
I keep hearing that Biden is going to forgive student loan debt, but I feel like every single president, when they come along, that's, a staple of their campaign. And I truly don't believe it's ever going to happen. They're
No.
never going to fucking do it. They just keep saying, they say it. Every president does this. They say it halfway through their 4 years.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is actually something we're working on. I'm like, you're never going to fucking do this by the time you're out. You got 4 years to do this.
Yeah.
Or maybe 8 if you're lucky.
Yeah.
And just no one's going to do it. They
Yeah.
just keep saying they're going to cancel it. And then if they do cancel it, it's like, well, as long as you pay consistently on it for 20 years, we're going to forgive that debt. It's like, go fuck yourself. That doesn't help at all. That's not forgiveness. I want a clean slate, bitch.
Yeah. Well, that's why when they paused all the federal student loans during the pandemic from being paid, I haven't paid a single dime to it because I'm just rolling the dice. I'm like, I hope they just cancel all of it
Same.
before everything. But I'm like, that's not going to happen. But, I'm not paying those suckers any one dime until I have to again.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Even though it's probably worse for me that I didn't because now I could have paid at 0% interest. But, the choices we make.
I'm still banking. The choices we make. But,
We can hold hope for it. All hope for old Joey B is going to come through and just fucking put those billionaires in line.
yeah, man.
But yeah, I mean that pretty much wraps some of the stuff in the news here. We talked about shit and garbage, people leaving the state, photoshopped Instagram photos,
All the hot topics today.
Well, this is all the hot topics. I mean, we covered a slew of it.
Another beautiful day in South Jersey.
Another beautiful day. We're gonna once the weather starts getting nice out here, we're gonna start cooking outdoors. You know, we should do an episode while grilling, going down to Woodstown, going to Vineland, going to wherever the
Dude,
world.
I just had
us.
an idea for a theme song, like combination. We do a spin-off of the Mr. Rogers theme song where it's like, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, beautiful day. And then it like goes into like a rap of some kind.
Oh shit.
Motherfucking South Jersey neighborhood, bitch.
And, yeah. It's just nothing but
whatever, how rappers do.
Nothing but pimps and hoes with some jungle juice and lowriders that are bouncing up and down the streets.
Yeah, early 2000s rap.
Yeah.
Like Ludacris mixed with Mr. Rogers. It would be what I'm going
But we get to wear the sweaters.
Yeah.
Cosby sweaters.
for the street cred.
A great episode here.
Like and subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe, and share it with your grandmother. Share it with your South Jersey neighbor. If you truly hate it and if you hate your neighbor and you hate this podcast, you got somebody to share it with.
There you go. And also, give us ideas. If you guys have something specific about South Jersey that you'd like us to talk about, we'd love to hear it.
Yeah, we would love to hear it. We'd love to do it. Love to cover it. We consider ourselves like we're like the Barbara Walters of South Jersey.
Yeah, whatever that means.
Like a Diane Sawyer, Barbara Walters. We're going out and finding
old hacks.
Yeah, we're old hags. We're has-beens that just need to get out and find a story to cover.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Chris Hansen of South Jersey topics, if you will.
Didn't Chris get in trouble for some stuff?
I think so, but I think he was all framed. I think he was framed. Yeah. But yeah,
we stand for you, Chris.
We stand for you, Chris. For you and this man on the freeway. So until next time, stay classy, South Jersey.
Stay classy.